Welcome into a brand new, exciting edition of Locked On Eagles Squad podcast, where we break down our first preseason game, Eagles, Bengals, Tanner McKee, Kevin Patullo, checking boxes left and right. Cornerbacks, not so much. We'll talk about all that and more in this edition of Locked On Eagles Squad podcast.
Fly, Eagles, fly. It's the Eagles Squad, sponsored by Gametime. Everything Philadelphia Eagles, every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the city of brotherly love. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get ready and squad up. It's the Eagles Squad show starting now.
And welcome into this post-game show edition of Locked On Eagles show. Jason Martinez, Harry Mays, Marc Farzetta with you. Eagles take the victory here to open up the preseason, 34-27, but obviously that's not what it's about. What it's really about is Tanner McKee absolutely balling out in preseason game number 1. We'll talk about the cornerback position as well. Left a lot to be desired, gentlemen. Defensive line looked pretty strong throughout this game. Ty Robinson included, getting the only sack of the ball game there for the Philadelphia Eagles. How about that? The Bengals actually did play their starters for more than just a series. But, Harry, I'll ask you this first, man. When you look at the takeaways from this game, I think I know the number one takeaway. Go ahead.
You think you know the number one takeaway?
I think I know it, but I think we all know it.
If you think you know what he's thinking, you don't know what Harry's thinking.
Well, I put out a post on X a little while ago just wondering aloud what the Saints or the Colts would give up for Tanner McKee. Because both of those teams need a starting quarterback badly. And I'm trying to, dial in what Howie Roseman is thinking. Okay.
Second round pick.
I'm thinking minimum second round pick, because I had heard a rumor earlier today, actually, from a friend of mine who was dialed into a lot of gamblers. Okay, and they're talking heavily about the Eagles holding out for a first round pick, and they were going to showcase him tonight, and that's why they were all taking the over in the game. And the over hit in the first half. It was like 37 and a half. They had 38 points in the first half, and they kept him in to start the third quarter, which I thought was astonishing. I didn't like the idea, because I'm like, why would you bring him back out? He's already done his, it's almost like he doesn't need an encore here. He's done a terrific job. Now
all you can do is screw it up.
Well, now you're playing behind second, third string offensive linemen against guys who are trying to make a name for themselves on the defense. Some stupid injury happens, and all of a sudden you're like, man, this great second or backup quarterback that we have is now hurt. So I didn't like that, but it obviously didn't. He didn't get hurt, but I thought this was an interesting game because they showcased him and the second and third, fourth, fifth wide receivers all stood up too. That was really an interesting thing, because I've been on this since the beginning of this show that we started back in April or May, whenever we started this, about somebody stepping up as the third and fourth wide receiver to back up these first two guys. They need more, and we saw some hints of that tonight. Granted, it was preseason, but I liked what I saw out of some of these guys. I didn't even know who this Darius Cooper was. I had to look up where Tarleton State. What is Tarleton State, for God's sake?
Oh, man.
My God, but there's so much to get into here. But, Tanner McKee was outstanding. He really was. I mean, this guy, he could start for two teams in the NFL now.
Maybe more.
Yeah. Right now.
What you just brought up, I think, is fascinating, that the gamblers played the over because they knew they were going to showcase him, which means they were going to be aggressive offensively, and they were.
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes, when you're going, okay, we got this commodity, this piece we want to showcase, but it's a little nerve-wracking because you try and showcase them and it may blow up in your face.
Right.
But they felt really comfortable. And I think we found out that Nick Sirianni and the pumping of the tires of Tanner McKee, being the guy behind Jalen Hurts in that quarterback room, wasn't just words, empty words, because he went out there and showed I'll go with it, Harry, plethora
Plethora. Yes.
Plethora of different throws.
You put an accent on the different syllable there. I love that.
Because he was good.
Yes.
If he was bad, it was plethora. He was good. It was plethora. And he went out there and he showed a full kind of every read, touch passes over the top in tight coverages, outs to the sideline. He showed it all.
Yeah.
I mean, he went 20 to 25 here.
He even had some mobility in the pocket, like moving around, throwing on the run.
He had command, too. He looked like a quarterback that had command. And I don't want to make too much of a preseason game. We did that with Sam
Oh, why
Bradford.
not? What else do we have?
I mean, Jesus,
we got 54 more minutes. Let's start making it big, babe.
Yeah, but you can't help but come out of it and looking at him and going, okay, now there's a really big question. Is he worth more to you as an insurance policy, or is he worth more to you if you could get a first-round pick? You know what I mean? Well, it felt real. I mean, it's conversation for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And okay, you're absolutely right, Jason. I made the horrible mistake of guessing what Harry Mays was thinking, and that is dangerous waters. That is dangerous waters.
Tread lightly.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you think I was thinking?
I thought you were thinking that Tanner McKee was the lead story, but the lead story of the lead story is that the Eagles were just showcasing him tonight, and that's probably, to answer the question, that's why he came back out in the third quarter, despite the fact at halftime he had already put up 193 yards, I believe it was 193 yards.
Yeah, had
2 touchdowns through the air, 1 through the tush-a-push, and also was 14
you do that
17. Too. Yeah, how about that?
Without the starting offensive line, mind you.
Right.
Exactly. With a rookie center in Drew
Kendall. Yeah.
153 passer rating as well, just for extra added measure there, of course. But the idea of showcasing him and trading, like already talking about this after the first preseason game, first off, it's not just the preseason game. He also played well last year during games. Like that.
Absolutely.
He played well last year in the
week 18.
Brief amount of 17
and 18, I think.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, the brief amount of time we got to see him, he played well in regular season games.
Yeah.
The fact that the Eagles in the offseason were willing to get rid of Kenny Pickett and not bring him back and have Tanner McKee elevated to the number 2 role is also a feather in his cap. But the thing that holds me back from saying first-round pick is I look at Tanner McKee and I look at like the Sam Bradford. I'm not comparing preseason numbers here, even though we could get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But Howie Roseman got a first-round pick for Sam Bradford. And he got a first-round pick for Sam Bradford because his argument with the Vikings at the time was, you're taking my starting quarterback. Now, we all know that there's no way Sam Bradford was going to be the starting quarterback for, at very least, a long time. Because it was going to go to Carson
sitting
Wentz.
there.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
He was
Wentz
the third at the time, remember?
Right, yeah.
Chase Daniel.
Yeah, Chase Daniel was there. Let's not forget about that. I'm here to take your job, bro. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So Howie's argument was, you're taking my starting quarterback. He can't say that, obviously, with Tanner McKee.
Yeah.
I think they still get a second-round pick. I will say this. Howie, he could be a wizard. He wins trades, as we all know. He's astonishing at the salary cap, as we all know. So I wouldn't be shocked that it would be a first-round pick if they ended up flipping him, but I think you're guaranteed a second-round pick for Tanner McKee, which is just incredible to say. And if the Eagles are able to pull that off, that is something special there. Not that Dorian Thompson Robinson left
DTR.
Yeah, that DTR really impressed me tonight. But
no,
yeah, he might have helped his stock, Tanner McKee, and the Eagles with a potential future draft pick. But with that still pending, it is a brilliant strategy. Here, you know that your backup quarterback can flat out sling it. He passed. Look, I didn't have him on as much of a test today. I wanted him to do exactly what he did tonight. I wanted them to go out there and look like a guy that could be and should be an NFL starter for some of the teams in the league right now. And he absolutely looked like that. And Jason, to your point, making moves in the pocket, he rolled to his right a number of times, hit guys downfield for first downs, put one in the hands of Grant Cockatera on a third down that he
dropped it. Yeah.
He dropped it. There was one bad read he made that should have been an interception, and that was it. So if you're coming away from about 2.5 quarters of play with Tanner McKee slinging it like that, and the final numbers, by the way, I do have them for you. I'll put these up real quick, courtesy of ESPN.com. Yeah, there they are. Tanner McKee, 20 of 25, 252 yards, averaging 10 yards per completion, just over that. 2 touchdowns, was sacked twice, 135.3 passer rating. Not too shabby, Jason.
Yeah, 10 point yard. 10.1 yards per attempt, actually.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, just a really good performance. And while I was, intrigued going into the game about him, I wasn't as intrigued about him before the game as I am about him now, because he lit it on fire tonight. Like, I mean, I know it's preseason game number 1. Starters don't play a lot. Obviously, Cincinnati.
But the Bengals starters were playing.
Yeah, because they've gotten off to really horrific starts the last couple of years. So they had to do something different. And the fact that he went out there with a rookie center, all of those things, all the elements of this, it just became a really intriguing storyline. There's no quarterback controversy or anything like that.
No.
Oh, wait, is that happening already?
That'll be happening tomorrow on morning radio.
Yeah, the camera will roll that.
Yeah.
Is there a QB Oh, jeez. We'll rock your calls. Like if I hear that, I can't click off the radio quick enough.
Yeah.
But you talk about a guy who just kind of goes out there and just puts the best thing he can put on film, doing his job. I mean, geez, you can't find a better story than that.
Quarterback factory.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, right.
I mean, this is it right here.
Go.
Now, I don't know if Kyle McCord is ever going to get on the assembly line belt, because based upon what I saw tonight late, he did not look good. But they're a quarterback factory, Farzy. I mean, this is evidence right here.
And it's asset management, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, this is what Howie does. He gets a guy and then flips him for way more than he originally got him for it. It's why Howie, and I've been digging in on a story for Crossing Broad on this, on GMs in Philadelphia sports over the last 50 years. I can't find a better GM than Howie Roseman over the last 50 years because of from when he came out after Chip Kelly left and the way he's approached his job. I mean, he's been to 3 Super Bowls, 1, 2 in a pretty short window here, about 7 or 8 years. And they're always in the mix. If there's a big player available, he finds a way to manipulate the cap. His asset management is obviously very good. I think some of his mistakes or some of the moves he makes are self-inflicted, but that's also a skill to go, I have a self-inflicted wound. I got to fix it, not hang on to it, double down on it.
Notice when I brought up the Colts and the Saints, they're the 2 teams that have the glaring quarterback needs, because AR-15 stinks, okay? And he got hurt tonight. He hurt his finger. Yeah, he got hurt in the preseason game.
Well, that's out for the season in the NBA.
Both of those coaches are former Eagles. Yeah. So I mean, what better deal to make?
Yeah. It's the writing's on the wall almost, isn't it?
Yeah. The fan base will go crazy if they trade him too. They'll go nuts.
Well, I'm going to go crazy because I want to watch him in the preseason because there's nothing else to watch.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Fair point.
Well, here's the thing though. With Jalen Hurts as your quarterback, I think you have to kind of accept the fact that your backup is going to play 2 games. All right. So do you want Dorian Thompson-Robinson to play those 2 games? Do you want Kyle McCord to play those 2 games? Are you going to pick up whoever's out there?
Right.
Are you going to, who you pick up the veteran maybe that comes back here? You know what? Who would be the guy that come in here? Gardner Minshew available again? What's going on there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like who's the guy that would come in?
No, you're right.
Take over. So you want to know that you have a guy that can play.
Who are the 2 games against the Giants at the end of the year when you're just bleeding out the schedule? Or
they never know. It's usually at least 10 games in.
A win to stay in the number 1 seed. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It
creates a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, you look at the way he played this game, and yes, we'll say it again. Everything's under the umbrella of this being a preseason game. I get it, but I don't know about you guys. Here's one thing I don't give a damn about whether or not it's the preseason. A lot of these guys, and Tanner McKee's included in this as well, because if he played terrible, well, that would be concerning about who your backup quarterback is then.
Sure.
Because, again, he's going to play this year with Jalen Hurts as the starter. So my question is, every single game, every single player, no matter preseason or not, look like you belong. Don't look like the moment's too big for you. Don't look like you're too small for the moment. Don't look like you're, completely frazzled out there. Look like you're in control. And Tanner McKee didn't just look like he was in control. He dominated. Like he looked crisp. He looked like
better than Burrow.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say Joe Burrow, I guess, is by the standards of the people that make the lists. Tanner McKee is the best guy in this game, the best quarterback in this game, second best quarterback in the building, then next to Jalen Hurts, and then Joe Burrow number 3. If you go by the standard of, look what's around him. Joe Burrow had Jamar Chase. He was throwing a football too. Come on.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, exactly. So I'm looking at this for the Eagles and Tanner McKee just going, oh, he absolutely looked like a guy that is like gave you no doubt that, not that many people had it, but gave you absolutely no doubt that moving on from Kenny Pickett as a backup here in Philly was the absolute right decision. Tanner McKee was ready to take that step forward to the point where, Harry, maybe they were showcasing him for what could be available in a trade down the line.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what quarterback factories do. They know what they have in the new model, and, they bring it out and they showcase it. They put it right in the front of the lot, where all the people are driving by saying, wow, look at that. Man. Yeah. What's the price on that?
Look at
can I
the
lease that?
Too.
Can I get a lease?
Can I lease that?
Well, look at the measurables too, Harry.
Right.
He comes out of Stanford. He's 6'6", 230.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a 6th round pick. He's clearly a smart guy.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot. You look at like kind of the definition of like the build of a quarterback and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, he just checked.
Played on some bad Stanford teams in a weak Pac-12, and I think that was part of the reason why he probably was drafted so late. And wasn't, he doesn't like the new NFL. You got to showcase the fact that you can run a little bit, and he was never. He'd be a perfect quarterback for like the early 2000s of the NFL if he came out. You know what I mean? 6'6", nice arm.
The Ben Roethlisberger mold.
Yeah,
you can move a little bit, but you don't. Roethlisberger can get out and scramble, but big body that can see over the offensive line and deliver the ball.
Yeah,
in a different manner of ways. He did all that tonight. He did
escapability.
Escapability.
Escapability was the word. Yeah, exactly. Ben Roethlisberger and escapability. Those were those always went hand in hand. But the variety of throws that he was able to make today, had the really nice back shoulder throw to Johnny Wilson.
Yeah.
He did have that throw to Grant Calcaterra that he should have caught on that third down that they weren't able to convert. And that was really a number of those kinds of throws. The rollouts to his right that he was able to complete a number of times tonight were really good. And then he used every inch of Johnny Wilson's 6'6", 6'7" frame for him to high point that football, literally in places where only his receiver could get. And the variety of throws he was making, the slant routes were perfectly timed.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything if I had to use one word, that I think is some might call it a measured take, but everything you saw from Tanner McKee tonight was crisp. That would be the word I describe. It was just crisp. It was accurate. It was efficient. He kept his eyes downfield. There was no panic, no worry. No, he wasn't flustered at any time. It was a guy that looked like a seasoned veteran getting preseason snaps.
Well,
and if that's going to be your backup quarterback, that's exactly what you want to see.
Well, the other part of it too was Kevin Patullo.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
those two just looked in perfect harmony and sync in the plan. And when you're in that kind of groove with your play caller, you can see the quarterback and the play callers being on the same page. There's just in the first preseason game, you see like a lot of the, what are we supposed to do here? And the false starts and
guys in the wrong position. Yeah.
Breaking the huddle late.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just didn't see that tonight. It looked very on the same page.
Yeah.
And that's another thing in managing a situation with a brand new play caller, calling plays for the first time, that comes out of the performance of a guy like Tanner McKee, is that he and Patullo were really, and you got to give Nick Sirianni credit because he's the one who puts all this together. They looked really sharp from a coaching staff and perspective of what we're going to do. They showed way more than I expected from a passing standpoint, even though it wasn't Hurts or just, it wasn't as vanilla as I thought it might be offensively from a play calling perspective. But then again, they're showcasing Tanner McKee, so you got to be a little.
I thought that was pretty crazy when they ran the tush push there. I was really surprised.
I think that was shoving it up a lot of people's giggy in a league trying to ban it.
Well, it's a good thing he got in. I mean, that 6'6" frame got him in. It wasn't the push, really. It was like the fact that he's 6'6" and the length. But that was pretty wild. I wasn't expecting them to run that there.
I definitely want to talk more about Kevin Patullo when we come back. And I also want to talk about that sequence that led up to the first touchdown of the game that ended with the tush push. And then, gentlemen, I got to say, and I absolutely love this, it was one of my favorite things about this game. And you saw it really in the first three quarters. And it didn't have much to do with the guys that were playing in the game tonight. So I want to talk about that when we return. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show and the Eagles preseason victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll be back right after this. Jason's got a message for you when it comes to all things when it has to do with the incredible people of FanDuel. Back after this.
All right. It is that time of year. It is fantasy time. Oh, man, it's crazy because now that we're seeing games, you're starting to see guys and you go, oh, man, is he going to maybe be better? Is he going to be used more this season than maybe I thought? And maybe guys move up your draft board or down your draft board. Well, summer sports, they've been in full swing. We've had baseball. And whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer, FanDuel is the best way to make every game more exciting. Now, you've already been following the action. Why not make it a little bit more thrilling and with a little coin on it? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. It just makes the whole experience in games that where maybe you don't have a rooting interest just a little bit more exciting when you got a little skin in the action. Plus, with football here and drafts coming, you got to look at it all. You want to get in on the action there. Teams that you think are going to run up, that be one of those teams that all of a sudden offensively can do more or going to be a better team than you thought. And you get all your homework in this time of year. And FanDuel's got you totally covered. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups for years now. God, it feels like a decade. And the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's not just the standard, money line, the points line, all that stuff, over-unders. No, there's all kinds of different ways and fun things to bet on. And it's easy to use with fast payouts, and it makes even regular season games feel like must-watch playoff games. So check it out at FanDuel, whether I'm placing a same-game parlay or watching a bet right into the ninth inning or combining sports. FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action, and it'll make you feel that way as well. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5, and you can get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. So make it a good one. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started.
And welcome back to Locked On Eagles Squad Show. Marc Farzetta, Harry Mays, Jason Martinez. Fellas, there's one thing I do have to say about tonight's game, and it had nothing to do with the guys that were on the field. It had everything to do with the guys that were on the sideline, and those are the guys that are regular starters. I don't know if there was anybody happier in the building for Tanner McKee than Jalen Hurts. And seeing those two chop it up after big plays, after touchdown drives, was phenomenal. See how into the game Jalen Hurts was and how into it he was for Tanner McKee to have success. And then even better than that, because it involved a little bit more of a physical feat here, Ainias Smith has that big punt return, 43 yards, I think it was.
Yeah.
And down the sideline, I don't know if you guys saw it, Saquon Barkley is going like stride for stride, just like a couple steps behind him, just amping them up like that. Like, I understand that for a lot of fans that are going to the game tonight, maybe they got floated free tickets by a season ticket holder, friends of theirs, and maybe they don't get to go to a lot of games. They get the opportunity to bring the kids, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
The kids, Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, I think were the most excited people in the whole building that weren't playing in that football game. That to me, we talk about culture all the time. We talk about leadership all the time. On our last squad show, we talked about the next step in Jalen Hurts' leadership, kind of not just talking to the offense, but also talking up the defense and all that. I thought, Harry, you saw all of that tonight on the sideline. Even at one point, Saquon's getting interviewed, and he breaks the interview with Buds to be like, oh, hold on a second. Yeah, go, boy. Go, boy. Go, boy. All right, sorry about that. Go ahead. What was that? Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and I love Spuds, too. He's terrific.
Good dude.
But I will say that you're talking about two very comfortable veteran members of this team.
Sure.
This isn't like Brett Favre cheering on Aaron Rodgers in a preseason game back in 2000 and whatever it was, 2005 or whatever it would have been. But knowing that this guy could give him some heat like this. Those two guys are the greatest teammates because they're the best players on the team. And they're like, yeah, come on, let's go. And I saw Jalen Carter having fun on the sideline too, in street clothes, and everybody was having a ball. It was a big love fest. I thought one of the funniest things was when the Lane Johnson interview was going on. Landon Dickerson is photobombing him, just standing back there looking like a psycho, a 6'6", 340-pound psycho eating an Uncrustable. Like totally like ready for the insane asylum. That's exactly what I want my offensive lineman to look like right there.
And the only thing
That was awesome.
a juice box or like a Capri Sun.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He did. He had the look in the eye of a serial killer.
Oh, totally.
And we got to have some conversation about Lane Johnson's beard. As a beardsman,
Yes.
it's a little
Both you
unfettered,
guys.
Harry.
Oh, I know.
I
Dude,
let mine get a little loose at times. Not that loose.
that was better than any playoff hockey beard I've seen in decades.
Joe Thornton.
Yeah, Joe Thornton, right.
Jumbo beard.
Does he perm his beard? It looks like he might put a little curl in there.
Yeah, a little curl in the wings.
Yeah.
Look, I think the atmosphere tonight, it was a celebration at Lincoln Financial Field of a couple of things, of a team that just pretty much is returning as the Super Bowl champs, even though they're not defending anything. They've been very adamant about that.
Yeah,
and
they've moved on.
But it's just a celebration of the return of Eagles football and what it means to this city. Like, and I think players like Saquon and like Jalen Hurts and guys like Lane Johnson, and we missed Brandon Graham there tonight as an Eagle player for the first time in a very long time. Wow. It was just like a celebration that the Eagles are back, and there's this wild ride. And through this preseason, they'll be cranking us up the first hill of the roller coaster. And when it starts coming up in September after Labor Day, they drop you down hill number one, and you have no idea what twists and turns and upside down loops are coming. And how you're going to feel when you get off the ride. But that's a football season. And there's a little chill in the air tonight. Like, it felt like a little bit of football to me.
Yeah. Fall day.
Yeah, it felt really cool.
No
today.
humidity. That was the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like a look going down to 60 tonight. I'm looking at all that, and it just felt really good to have the Eagles back, and like the weather gods chipped in with their part. And I think Ross Tucker and Scotty Graham nailed it when they said this is the time when you bring like a young kid to a game.
Yeah,
because they go out there, they see this team that beat Kansas City in the Super Bowl. Then you're out there and you're looking at them. The grass is so much greener in person and all that stuff. Like you remember your first time going to the vet as a kid and being "Whoa, it looks like that." Doesn't look like that on my TV.
They play on that.
I was in like third grade saying, "Man, this is a dump."
Yeah. And it was as you rode a rat into the building. Up
it was only built 3 years prior.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
At Three River Stadium and Cincinnati's park.
Oh, I was there in like '73, so I think when was the vet built? '71 or something?
I think it was.
So I think 71.
Three River, the vet and Riverfront in Cincinnati were all built within a year of each other. And
in St. Louis too, I think.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Do you think that architect is really proud of his work? Do you think that guy's still around? To be like, look what I've created.
No.
Yeah.
You ever seen the Guggenheim?
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, let's get back to Kevin Patullo here for a second, because Jason, you said something that I thought was interesting. It wasn't as vanilla. I would say going through the game, I thought it was very cut and dry. I thought you had a little what do you call it? A swing pass there from Tanner McKee. You had a nice little slant route there at the goal line that they converted for a touchdown. I thought it was very vanilla until A.J. Dillon came into the game.
Yeah.
And first off, I will say I was surprised that A.J. Dillon was in after Will Shipley, but that's just, I guess, the way they did it. And they started throwing to the running backs more and more after that, which is one of the things that we heard from Kevin Patullo. Yeah, you heard him talking about that leading up to the game and his, 2 or 3 press conferences he's done since as the offense coordinator. Hey, look, the proof was in the pudding there. And, hey, look, I loved, if you can even call it that, I love that little wrinkle, Jason, being thrown into the Eagles' passing game.
Yeah, I do too. And, again, I think it just speaks to creativity. Patullo's been here a while. Like, he just hasn't been the play caller. There's been so many guys that have come through. It's a new guy every year. And it's the path to getting a head coaching job somewhere other than here because of the success they've had. But he just looked really comfortable to me and kind of the feel of what they did. And, yeah, there's going to be those token things that you do. I want to see more of A.J. Dillon.
Yeah.
Before we end up getting to the defensive side of the ball, where there's a lot of things I want to see more of. And I have some mild concerns based on a preseason game, but I want to see more of him. I thought it was interesting, too, that Shipley kind of got the brunt of it at first, and he popped off a big one right away. So He had a good performance, I think, averaging just under 7 yards a carry in the game on 7 carries. So, but A.J. Dillon's an interesting guy for me. And if he's going to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield, then I think we could see him used in some unique situations. And I wouldn't mind seeing him, Goddard, and Saquon on the field together.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel really good about what you saw offensively tonight. You had one starting offensive lineman playing in Steen. You have your backup quarterback who looked like a starter for a couple of teams in the NFL. You've got now depth at running back in versatility at running back with Shipley and A.J. Dillon. And you saw a chorus of backup wide receivers, the 3, 4, 5 type guys, all making plays. And some of the guys I didn't even know were on the roster. Okay, I mean, I know, Wilson, I know Smith. I didn't know about Cooper, and Cooper made 7 or 8 plays tonight. I mean, so they've got. I feel bad for Terrace Marshall, who got hurt and he also doesn't play special teams apparently, because after this game, what I saw tonight, he's probably out.
Yeah.
Is Cooper an undrafted free agent?
Yes.
Wow, okay. Out of Tarleton State.
Yeah. Division I AA, FCS, now they call it.
Yeah.
He, after the Anaya Smith punt return, which, by the way, also side note, all right, so we're done with Cooper DeJean as a punt returner, right? We're going to be done with that? That's over?
Yes.
That's over?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Done.
Too risky.
Done. Darius Cooper had the 20-yard touchdown reception after that. And yeah, he looked like a guy that absolutely belonged. He didn't shy away from the moment either. There were a couple of guys up here. What's the kid's name? Derek Sherderick. Is that his name?
Yeah,
the running back, 5'7".
Oh, the little guy that he scored.
Yeah. Sherderick Powell is his name.
Yeah. Powell. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Sherderick Powell. He had the touchdown as well out of Central Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
By way of North Alabama.
There you go.
Yes, Alabama, but North Alabama. He had the final touchdown of the game there for the Eagles. Just a lot of guys on the offensive side of the football really did step up and showed what they could do. And if you talk about every opportunity, even in the fourth quarter, going out there and just getting good film of yourself for other NFL teams, I felt a number of those guys check the boxes on the offensive side of the football there for the Eagles. That was a lot of fun.
Powell's undrafted too. These guys are just looking for an opportunity to put something on tape in an NFL uniform. And both of those guys went out there and acquitted themselves very well. Mm-hmm. What could you not like about Powell? Yeah, he's small. He's basically me. He's 5'7", 183. I'm 179 pounds now.
He moves a little quicker than you, though.
Just a little first step. That first step gets you.
Yeah, but he's not a bit overly big guy, but he's compact.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys you could see getting lost behind an offensive line because of his compactness.
That Darius Cooper's like 5'11". He's 210.
Yeah,
he's sort of like a running back. He sort of looks like a running back.
Yeah, he's stocky too.
Yeah.
Not the longest guy, obviously, and you had some length out there for the Eagles at receiver. But he is pretty jacked. He's got some power to him.
Mm-hmm. As far as go ahead.
No, we're done with Cooper DeJean as the punt returner.
Okay.
You can rest easy on that. Okay.
We'll let the Eagles know the squad show has just made the decision for them. Yep. You don't need him at safety.
He's the Swiss Army knife on defense, but he's no longer a punt returner. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. If we're making squad show decisions, I just deemed that the preseason is now over. I've seen enough, and tonight was as compelling as it gets. Yeah. But I still have seen enough.
Oh,
do you rest Tanner
on
McKee?
The regular season.
Do you rest Tanner McKee now? Do you put him on ice?
You rest him, put him on ice.
The chat is pointing out, Bam Man says that Powell was an international signing. He was an Aussie rugby player like Mailata. So,
is that right?
Yeah, how about that?
Is there an Alabama Australia I'm unaware of?
I don't know, but they have like a pipeline to these rugby players, I guess.
Who do they have scouting?
Sav Rocca is making calls.
Sav Rocca. Oh, there's a name.
Boom.
Yes.
That's why you keep me around, boys. That's why you keep me around. All right, who in the chat had Sav Rocca on the bingo card? Nobody? Ha ha.
Wow. They got like a scout in Tibet, though, monitoring soccer fields, and a guy in monitoring Australian rules football for some gem that they can unearth. It's almost insane. Like there's got to be, like the Phillies should have a guy, recruiting out of a cricket league or something.
Yeah, the Phillies just need to keep bringing in Latin players. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Howie leaves no stone unturned.
Right.
As we can see.
I like the idea of a scout in Tibet.
Yeah.
Watching guys
Tibetan
climb
monks.
mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This Tibetan monk,
Lots of sports in Tibet.
Yeah. Burning incense, Harry. Hanging with the Tibetan monks. I'm all for it.
There you go. I do have a question for you, gentlemen, about that Kevin Patullo fella today.
Okay.
So, just like I said, I like to see guys that are on the football field not look like the moment's too big for them. At any point tonight, did it look like Kevin Patullo had never called plays at the NFL level before?
No. I mean, the camera shots are what they are, but he looked the part. And it was like there was never an instance. There was a lot of penalties called in the game, which really kind of pissed me off because the game kept going. But a lot of that was, mutually on Cincinnati. But there wasn't the, illegal formations, out of an offense or illegal motions or any of those annoying penalties that set you back 5 yards, which drive an offensive coordinator absolutely bonkers. There wasn't that. They were in the right spots. The quarterback, to his credit, would motion guys and whatever. Everything looked like they had been practicing for 6 or 8 weeks at this stuff. So you got to credit Patullo and Sirianni both for the, just the cohesiveness of the offense.
Yeah. Sirianni talked about that too. Talked about how important these games are for the coaches to get ready for, even though it's not a physical element of getting ready for the regular season, it's getting the muscle memory back of the rhythm of game day.
Yeah.
And Patullo's been there, done that
on a play clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, Patullo's on the sideline too. He prefers to be there because he wants to talk to guys as they come off the field.
I like that.
I like that too. Yeah. It's a little old school and I like it. And as long as you can be as effective there as you could be up top with maybe a little bit less distraction. And he's a guy that, didn't look like the deer in the headlights at any point when they showed him. And obviously he's a storyline because any guy that's going to call plays for this team is a storyline. And he went out there and they just look polished.
Yeah.
Beyond where I thought maybe they would be. Because you're right, Harry. A lot of times we see those false starts.
Yeah.
Illegal substitutions. It's just nauseating because there's just mental penalties. You didn't really even see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You didn't see like Tanner McKee looking at the sideline like, what was that? What do you want?
Right.
What's going on?
Right.
There was no confusion. Fluid.
The quarterback tapping it.
What? Yeah.
Like when Andy Reid have the Olive Garden menu out.
Yeah.
Right.
Some late substitution running in, some guy running off the field, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Drives me as a gambler freaking crazy.
I got to do a better job.
Yeah.
There was one point that really, I mean, this is kind of, I don't know what else I'd want them to do, but there was one point in their first drive, the drive that was capped off by the tush push.
Yeah.
They had first and goal from the 5, Shipley for 2 yards. Second and goal for the 3, Shipley for 2 yards. Third and goal from the 1, Shipley no gain. And I'm like, is there any other play we're going to see here? It was the only point that just made me go, all right, come on, what else you got? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Where was A.J. Dillon right there?
Where's A.J. Dillon? Where's Johnny Wilson on the old fade route? That kind of thing. What
back shoulder.
That was the only time in this game when I went, okay, Patullo, let's see what else you got. And then when they lined up for the tush push, I was like, all is forgiven. They just had this in their back pocket the whole time anyway. They got across.
I think they wanted to fail on those attempts so they could break the push in. Like, hey, Will, go down just before the goal line at the 1.5 so we can do the tush push. I agree. It was fun from an offensive standpoint all night. The defense, there was some things that, we got to talk about in the final part of the show. But
Vic Fangio got a big meal tonight.
He did
because he's going to be able to tear into these guys tomorrow and for the next 6-7 days until they play again on Saturday against the Browns.
Especially the guys that began the game.
Yeah.
They were a little too loose.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right, Harry. He got himself served up a nice
That's exactly what he wanted
fettuccine
to.
Alfredo with broccoli and chicken.
Yep.
Yeah, very heavy meal
Absolutely.
tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're not gonna leave any meat on that bone when we come back. We got to talk about this cornerback position, the safety position, how the DTs look. Jihad Campbell. Oh, he almost had an interception. There were some good moments. It wasn't all bad, but we've concentrated on a lot on the beginning portion of the show here on the offense. We'll flip it over to the other side of the ball and talk about what Vic Fangio is possibly going to be talking about tomorrow. That's coming up next on Locked On Eagle Squad Show, breaking down the Eagles' first preseason game of the year. That one, a win against the Cincinnati Bengals. Talk about that more when we return. This is Locked On Eagles Squad Show. Hey, let me tell you about Yahoo Fantasy. I've been using Yahoo Fantasy for just about every year of my fantasy football career. Been in the league for about 12 years now. Yahoo Fantasy is fantastic. And this particular episode of Locked On Eagle Squad Show is brought to you by Yahoo Fantasy Football. It's the best time of year. NFL kickoff. The regular season almost here. And this year, for me, my friends, oh my goodness, we have a great time with Yahoo Fantasy, playing Yahoo Fantasy, and you should too. When you talk about if you're a first-timer or if you're a veteran in a monthly league, whatever, you got to deal with your fantasy football league with Yahoo. I've used Yahoo for years. Like I said, one of my favorite features is the new Guillotine Leagues. They just dropped. Every week, the lowest scoring team eliminated. They get the guillotine dropped on them. They're out. And the last team standing wins the tournament. Whether you're all in on something new or maybe head-to-head leagues, jumping into public leagues, Yahoo's got you covered with everything. And to celebrate 28 years of fantasy football greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days throughout the month of August. To kick it off, they just dropped the Yahoo Fantasy Guillotine Leagues I just told you about. The killer new way to play fantasy football on Yahoo, where the lowest scoring team's eliminated. So take advantage of all Yahoo Fantasy has to offer. Stay tuned for more killer announcements that start playing Yahoo Fantasy Football now at yahoofantasy.com/lockedonnfl. That's yahoofantasy.com/lockedonnfl. So, gentlemen, the defense. Not great. Adoree Jackson, Keely Ringo, are you trying to lose a job to Jacorian Bennett? Are you trying to make the Eagles go out there and sign somebody else? Are you trying to make Howie Roseman go out there and make a trade for another corner? Because I understand that it was still Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and even Chase Brown there behind the line of scrimmage. They're running the football. I get it. And by the way, just as a side note, thank God, Burrow and Chase are playing together because, they haven't established chemistry at this point in their careers. But anyway, the secondary and defensive back position has me concerned. These are guys, Adoree Jackson, that is not some rookie looking to make a squad. This is a guy who's been a starter for the vast majority of his NFL career.
He's in his ninth year.
Keely Ringo. Harry, we should all be aware of his history because Vic Fangio just gave us the cliff notes of it.
Right.
And then Keely Ringo, are you still trying to fight for a job, bro? Because I think he's still spinning from that little curl route or comeback route that Jamar Chase put on him for the touchdown. Yeah. That was undrafted rookie stuff. That's not stuff of anybody that's looking to be a starter for an NFL team. I understand who you were against.
Yeah.
But man, he put you in spin cycle.
It was a tough baptism for those guys tonight. It really was. I will say that Adoree Jackson looked a little bit better, but it's probably because he's been around for 8-9 years. He made a nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage on Chase Brown, came up and made a good stick on him, and did a little bit better in coverage. He was playing soft coverage, on most of those plays where guys made catches in front of him. I don't know if that was the call or if that was just, he's just doing that himself. I don't know. It's preseason. How many calls are really made?
The 3rd and 5, the big cushion to Chase, yeah.
Yeah. But Keely Ringo looked bad to me. And I know that's who all the Eagles want to make, to win this job because they drafted him. I get it. But he looked awful tonight. And I think
I'll say this with Adoree Jackson real quick. That touchdown he allowed, I think it would have been the first touchdown of the game. It was negated because of the chop block. I also thought that saved his ass.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
The thing is that Jackson looked scared. Like he didn't look like he wanted any part of it. You know what I mean?
Didn't want the smoke.
Yeah, like didn't want the challenge. You know what I mean? And like that 3rd and 5 was a big play, and he just way off him, just a little too much respect for our first preseason game. And look, you gotta respect guys like that. But yeah, I didn't think he acquitted himself well at all. It's hard again. Like I think we put a lot of adulation towards Tanner McKee, and we have to remember it is the first preseason game. We have to do the same here on the negative when it comes to the defense, because not all the smoke is up front for those guys either.
Mm-hmm.
And they are playing against the starters of Cincinnati, who are coming in a little bit different of a mindset. So we got to remember that.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that they didn't look good.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
They didn't get a pass rush either, and that affects the way the
and that's part of it,
play.
right, Harry?
Yeah.
And you give a guy like Burrow a little bit more time, and the offense is dictating the turns. Usually, offense though is a little behind defense at this time of the preseason. But the thing is, like I know some of the people in the chat are saying it, and I'm sure we'll hear it on the radio tomorrow. Oh, they got to trade for a cornerback. They got to.
They did.
They
didn't play tonight.
Yeah.
Howie predicted this by trading for Bennett.
They already traded for a cornerback.
We're going to have a problem. Better make the trade now.
Yeah, I mean, they got Bennett from the Raiders, and maybe that's your insurance policy, but people are going to be fatalist about it a little bit. And, you still have time. You still have 2 more preseason games. There's a lot of camp left. Was it a good performance tonight for either of those guys?
No.
But is the book fully written right now? No. It's not. So maybe we need to see more.
All right. Well, let me put it like this. So let's just use the bar that was set by Vic Fangio. And Vic Fangio laid it out this week. What's the bar? The bar is be better than Cooper DeJean. Be better of an option. Be a better option than having Cooper DeJean in base
that's
coverage.
What we have, too, that we're not considering right now.
Oh, yeah. But these guys are still going to play. As of right now, these guys are still going to play. So the question is, because in nickel coverage, you're not going to have Cooper playing. He's not Bugs Bunny, as the old joke goes. He's not going to be playing both positions. But when it comes to, by the way, for the kids, Bugs Bunny was a cartoon back in the anyway. All right. So
Mel Blanc.
As we call him in French Canadian, Harry, Hal Blanc.
Mel Blanc.
Blanc.
Yeah.
You're not going to have Cooper DeJean playing two
not
positions.
Arthur Blank.
Not Arthur Blank.
See, I told you this show should have been 30 minutes.
No. We're still cooking, man. We're still cooking. We're on fire right now. You kidding me?
Sorry.
This is like the 4th quarter of a preseason. No, anyway. So you have Cooper DeJean go out there, and he can play better, obviously, both these guys. But somebody's going to play when they're in nickel coverage, and they're not going to have Cooper DeJean most likely on the outside for that. They're going to have him in nickel where he flourishes. So to use Vic Fangio's bar, to use his standard, did anybody look like they were taking away reps in base coverage from Cooper DeJean?
No.
So now the part of that does come with a saving grace, because that does mean that you'll still have Cooper DeJean in base coverage playing opposite wherever Quenyon Mitchell is. And Quenyon Mitchell, as we all know, is going to be following around the number 1 guy, which is also incredible. But then you also have to shift from the defensive back position to the safety position. Tristan McCullum was out there tonight. Sidney Brown was out there tonight. I thought Sidney Brown was exactly who we've seen him be.
Yeah.
There was one play, though, that made me go, that's a little bit different. And the play was, unfortunately, a nice gain. I want to say it was like 7 yards, maybe. That little swing pass that they threw.
He recognized it and shot in there.
Shot the hole,
Blew up the block.
Right side,
got off the block, and I think it was Jamar Chase that he at least got a hand on in the play to slow him down. I'll have to go back and look at my notes for it, but I went, oh, damn. Usually that would, like last year or any other Sidney Brown that we've seen, that's just him going full head of steam, blow up the block, and my job's done. He blew up the block and then tried to make the play, and I thought that showed a nice little step forward, Jason, for what we've seen from the past in Sidney Brown.
Yeah, you want to see a guy shed the block, right? And that's what he did. It didn't go.
But his recognition of the play was
it's the read.
really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, because now he's playing on the play, knowing what's going to happen. Like he saw it on film before he did, and I can guarantee he probably didn't. But yeah, that was one of those ones where you went, "Ooh, that looked nice. More of that, please." And you see that. Miguel in our chat says, looking at his hips are too tight. How can you look that slow? Talking about Ringo.
Oh.
A guy that runs a 4.3, but he's got tight hips. Who was the coach that always talked about the hips? Wasn't there? We had a guy always talk about rotating the hips open.
Billy Davis?
It might have been Billy Davis.
Yeah.
I remember it was someone who wasn't good.
It was either him or Schwartz.
Yeah. I got tight hips, but I'm 60.
Yeah.
I got
Want to know about your drive.
Shakira hair. Hips don't lie hair.
Yeah, the hips don't lie. Exactly right. Yeah. But I tell you, when I saw, what did you think of Smile Mondin tonight?
Up and down.
Yeah.
Moments. The interesting part, like he started.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, but he started. And he was playing into the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw him back out there in the fourth. Maybe it was late in the third.
He looked a little light to me.
Light. Yeah, I think that'd be a good
got
word.
Pushed around a little bit.
First half, I noticed, or first quarter, I should say, he was around the ball. He was always around the ball. But the first touchdown, the one that stood, was two rookies, Mondin and McWilliams.
Yeah, McWilliams on the touchdown.
Yeah, on the touchdown,
yes.
Neither one of them could make the stop.
On the tight end.
Yeah, on the tight end.
Yep.
So yeah, that's definitely a situation where I'd agree.
That was a bad look right there, no doubt.
Yeah,
he looked a little overmatched for me in the game. It's like physically, like it just didn't look like he just didn't feel comfortable.
My guy Ty Robinson got a sack.
He did.
He competed hard.
Yeah, he did. He fought hard. I think he played the entire game as well. Like these guys were. I got to pull up the game book. I meant to do that earlier. It's not available, and it's not available right after the game, but it won't tell you the snap counts right out of the gate, unfortunately. But yeah, he was out there for the vast majority of the game. He did get that sack. That I don't know if that was intentionally a stunt they were running on the defensive line, but it ended up being one because things opened up the middle. And hey, good credit to him. He recognized it and just got in the backfield. There was another play where the offensive line just blew their assignment, it looked like, and he got into the backfield and rushed the passer at least. Got a hurry, I think. I don't know if he got a quarterback hit, but he got a hurry at least. But yeah, all in all, I thought Ty Robinson was good. He showed me one thing, got one sexy stat, which is obviously the sack. He certainly is another guy that looked like he belonged. But yeah, as far as your Mondin question goes, he was around the ball, which I don't mind for a later round pick for your first preseason game. And starting, he was around the ball. But yeah, he's got a long way to go.
Trotter Jr. had a decent game.
He did.
He made a couple plays.
Yeah, got in the backfield a little bit.
Yep.
Is this Perry Nickerson related to Hardy Nickerson at all?
Hardy Nickerson, I think.
Who took out McNabb or took out Randall Cunningham?
Oh wow!
No, wasn't it Hardy Nickerson?
No.
That was
that was the guy Bryce Popp.
Bryce Popp did
from the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, Hardy Nickerson played for Tampa Bay.
Hardy Nickerson played for Tampa. He was terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where'd that come from? Where'd the Nickerson? Jesus.
He was in the game.
It was right next to the Mel Blanc reference, I believe.
Yeah, he was in the game. I just wondered if he was any. I see that name and I go, is he this kid?
Oh, Bam Man's little offering here. Nothing you guys can say will persuade me you haven't had a couple of beers apiece.
I have not. I haven't had an alcoholic drink in a very long, well over a couple of years. But
yeah,
Harry, I think had the Jack and Ginger out, going Keith Richards style. Is that right, Harry?
Not Jack.
Jim Beam.
I'm Kentucky.
I'm
not Tennessee.
Yeah, Jim Beam.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
I'm a bourbon
work,
man myself
man.
as well.
Yeah,
yeah. No, alcohol free.
A DUI checkpoint, Bam man. Did you smell our breath?
Anything else defensively? When we come back, we got a quick blank of a break. But when we come back, I want to get some comments in here from our fine chat here. Anything else jump out to you from this game, gentlemen?
No,
defensively,
was gonna end.
Anything?
Well, I mean, like I was looking for maybe an Ojulari or an Uche kind of play, and I didn't see either of those guys do anything.
Nothing.
I was a little disappointed by that.
How dare us? Jihad Campbell. I mentioned that he dropped the interception.
Yes. Yeah. Nah, that was a shame.
By the way, when I was talking about I brought up the Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, you're going nuts for the guys and all that stuff. The guy that Jihad Campbell went over to at the sideline to be like, I'm an idiot. I can't believe I dropped that. You see who it was? It was Zach Bond. He buddied right up to Zach Bond. Zach Bond put his arm around. And it's like, you know what? That's why people love this culture, man. That's why they love this culture here in Philadelphia. All right, let's take a quick break of a break. Back right after this and get your comments on Locked On Eagles Squad show. And just like that, we're back. All right, let's rip through a couple of these. See what you guys are thinking about this one here. Bam Man again. We'll see why we traded for a quarterback competition. CB2. There you go. Skyler. What's up, Skyler? Tanner McKee is the real deal. There we go. By the way, shout out to the Memphis Grizzlies logo.
Wow.
How about that?
That's like an old school logo, I think.
That is.
Yeah.
Who were they originally? The Vancouver Grizzlies?
The Vancouver. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They go to Memphis, and now the mascot made no sense.
Yeah, they had big Country Reeves was their big draft pick when they first started.
Oh, my God.
Out of Oklahoma State.
Yes.
Thought basically everything else looked good. Patullo seems like he knows what he's doing. Bam Man, absolutely. Randy, what's popping? We need some work for CB2. Okay, we're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
Jerry, what's going on, fellas? Have 2 starting quarterbacks on this team. How about that?
Is he a top 32 quarterback in the NFL?
Easily.
Yes.
Easily.
Yeah, he definitely is, right?
Yes.
Definitely. You like DTR, Bam Man, did you?
What a ringing endorsement. DTR looks surprisingly okay.
Yeah, like you weren't expecting anything, but he looked okay.
Yeah, that's the kind of compliment I would get from like a chick in college. Like, he kind of looks okay.
Yeah, from 30 feet,
good enough.
From 30 feet, he's good looking.
Good from afar, but far from good.
Exactly. Yeah.
An hour longer at this bar, he's going to look even better. There
exactly.
You go. Randy Williams, hello. If any team, let alone a team that sucks, is willing to trade a first-round pick for Tanner McKee, business is business, and I agree with that.
I agree.
You're doing him a favor too.
Clear. I don't think anyone here is dying on Tanner McKee Hill. Like, no, you got to hold on to him. Like, if you get offered a first-round pick, hey, Jalen, stay healthy. Okay, then you bring in a veteran. That's probably what ended up happening.
If you don't feel comfortable, and the suckier the team might be, the better, because the higher the pick.
Right.
I'm looking for one comment. Exactly. And I'm looking for one comment from someone that mentioned maybe trade him to Cleveland. Could you imagine that if you're Kenny Pickett?
I think I saw that.
They have 19 quarterbacks.
Somebody did say that.
Yeah, I can't. I'm looking for it right now. E-Money, what's up, E-Money? How you doing? Somebody did say trade him to Cleveland. That would be pretty hilarious.
I remember seeing that in the chat.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Ted E.
Yep.
If I'm the Browns, I'm on the phone trying to get Tanner McKee.
Exactly. Right.
Kenny Pickett. Ah, damn it.
They play tomorrow night, and I think Shedeur Sanders is probably going to get the start.
Is that right?
They got a lot of injuries in there. They got like 5 or 6 quarterbacks, and I think half of them are hurt.
Yeah.
Holy pots and pans.
It's the gong show there. Yeah, they play tomorrow night at Carolina.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Washington plays tomorrow night too
against New England.
Yeah. And Detroit plays in Atlanta.
Yeah.
The Eagles have the joint practice coming up.
Yep,
with the Browns for this week, so that'll be a good one.
Now, by the way, what days are those, Farzy? Do you know? Is that Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday?
Wednesday, Thursday, leading into the game. The game's on Saturday, isn't it?
The game's on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
the Thursday, Friday. It's 2 days.
Okay.
I would imagine Thursday, Friday as well. Yeah, that's the 1:00 Saturday afternoon kickoff.
Saturday.
There you go.
So we'll be back.
Get excited.
Midway through the third quarter, when technically the game is over because half the building is empty.
Yeah.
That's my new rule. The NFL needs to end the game when the building becomes at half capacity.
Okay, that's
like
not
tonight,
a bad rule.
In the third lights flicker.
Yeah,
the last person walks out.
Yeah, the link was like midway through the third quarter. It was that flickering lights.
Did they snap the ball before? Did they snap the ball before the lights flickered? No.
Scotty Graham
game's over.
How about a running clock? How about a running clock on the fourth quarter?
So let me just tell you this, gentlemen. Every single year, every preseason, I am pleasantly reminded that there is no overtime. Yeah. I am pleasantly reminded because it creeps into my brain. McNabb didn't know a game could end in a tie, even with overtime. And every 11-year-old with a Madden game knew that. But anyway, I am pleasantly reminded, like, okay, could they tie this game and then overtime? And then somebody on the broadcast goes, and remember, the preseason, there is no overtime. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Pleasantly reminded there's no overtime.
Who, by the way, I love Ross Tucker.
Oh, he's the man.
I'm a huge Ross. I worked with him for a little bit.
He's great.
Over at Odyssey. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
And I think he does. And I think Scotty Graham does a great job too. When you look at preseason broadcast, I think those guys do a great job. And Dave Spadaro and Spuds does stuff on the sideline. I think
Spuds is great.
Yeah, good. He's
a great guy.
Look, it's a great product they're selling, and I'm buying.
Yeah,
I'm buying all day.
I'll give you this story to end the show, and I think it's a good note to end on while we're praising Dave Spadaro. I'm in Puerto Rico this past football season during the bye week. And a guy comes up to me and he goes, Mr. Spadaro, I love your stuff. I'm a big fan. I think you do a wonderful job. I just really, can I take a picture with you? I go, by all means, yes, please. He takes the picture and I go, I just got to tell you, I'm not Dave Spadaro, but it was a pleasure to meet you. And he's like, oh, okay, man. I'm sorry. I was like, no, it's hilarious. I know Dave. I'll text him, whatever.
All you bald guys look alike.
Right.
Yeah, I guess all guys look the same, Harry.
Yeah. So the guy leaves. I text Spuds. I'm like, dude, this guy just came up to me in Puerto Rico. He's a big fan of yours. Thought I was you, whatever. Apparently not that big a fan. And the guy came back 10 minutes later and he goes, Mr. Farzad, I am so sorry. Can I please buy you a shot?
Oh, my God.
I was like, no, dude, it's hilarious. Forget about it. It's awesome. I already texted Spuds.
But I will take a shot.
Yeah, I will have a shot of tequila in Puerto Rico while I'm in Old San Juan. Thank you.
That's exactly where I was.
Right.
Beautiful area, by the way.
Right. Hey, Mark Valor puts down here. He said something here that I like. Guys, hit the like button.
There you go.
Let's get this thing going.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Ring the bell.
Yeah.
Give that like button a nice karate chop for us.
Right. Yeah. Massage it.
Oh, you massage the like button, Harry.
Right.
All right. Then we should end the show there.
We should probably that's the way to get out.
Make your first
hey everybody!
Tomorrow the Eagles post what's the show? Locked On with Luigi.
Louis, yes. Locked On Eagles YouTube channel with Louis DiBiase for your daily content on the Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. You got us going on here.
Him and Mario doing the show.
Mario.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, we'll be back with you guys for another squad show during the week. Then we'll be back with you guys on Saturday for your Locked On post-game version of Locked On Eagles Squad show. And we look forward to bringing you all that and more throughout the week. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Go Birds, as per usual. Like and subscribe to Locked On Eagles YouTube channel. Catch you guys later in the week. See ya.